Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus. And as usual with me on this evening's show is my colleague.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. How is everyone going?
Terry-Ann, we're in September, a lot of buzz happening, everything going on. People busy, and complaining the traffic has started. You know, you gotta ease up with the traffic because schools are on vacation and of course schools are open back. So obviously everybody's back on the road very early and you know, all the business start. So whether you have to get up very early, drop off the children to school or to beat the traffic to reach to work on time. So a lot of things happening. This is September. So during the month of September, it's a very busy month for everybody.
Yes, September is busy, but September is also a beautiful time, I think, of restart. You know, I always, not even restart, start. I always say September to April that's the year. That's the year in the Caribbean and in Trinidad in particular. And you know, so much new. There's so much new and there's so much to look forward to in September. As you said, everyone has some new thing going on in our cohort. There would be grandchildren starting nursery, preschool, primary school, SCA candidates going in the shiny new uniforms. You have the second CXC students going into tertiary. So I think a lot of people in our cohort and even for the grants going up into the higher class, having completed a certain level. So I think September is a month that for many in our cohort, you started with a buzz because there is development somewhere in your group, in your family of people moving forward and moving up to bigger and brighter things, you know. So I think just that the start of September gives a sense of you know, and it's the start of the months with the buzz: September, October, November, December.
And then too, many people during August take vacation. You know, August is the month that they take vacation. Looking to, as they say, to get a fresh start in September. You know, so yeah, so you start afresh in September. Say, well, okay, you took that vacation or you took a break, you know, and then here comes September. So we should be ready. Be ready for whatever is there for us to do. You know, I always look at September as a month for me to again reflect, because I think September, at the end of September, you know what? That's the last quarter, you know. That is when I have to make sure that all these plans I had for the year, you know, at the start of the year, some people make plans and somewhere along the line, like you're not getting through with them. But in September, you say, you know what? I have to start putting things together, you know, because I have to achieve these plans somehow. So September really is I agree. To start afresh, to start afresh, to
You
reflect.
start afresh. Mhm.
Yeah.
You start afresh, or you realize, hey, time running out.
Well, yeah, that too, huh? That too.
Yes. You
We need to look at we can't just sit back and relax. And you mentioned from this time on to April, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a lot of activities coming up. And the holidays, we have the public holidays. And we are people that we like to celebrate. We like to celebrate the different occasions. And between I will say the next 3 months, we have a lot of preparation, a lot of preparing for what is coming next. And we can, list for me, as I see, what I like to do most, what excites me the most at this time of the year. And of course, I don't have to tell you Christmas, right? And I don't wait until December. All now I planning, for the Christmas season. So I say, okay, finish. I have gone through the September, you go through the excitement, as you mentioned, of whether it's your grand, whoever it is that going into a new part of life. And we tend to we want to be part of it, to help them in whatever way that we can, so they can become successful on their path. And after we have done that, say, okay, it's time for us now. Let's see what we have to do for ourselves to ensure that we succeed, with the plans that we have. And that's how I look at this time of the year, coming into this, what do you call it, the last phase in the year, or the last stages that we're in. Each month is a stage that we go through to complete the year.
Yeah. Yeah. And it could be a daunting time of year because it comes at the end of the year, and the end of the year is such a marker. But I often say, because again of us culturally, I flip the calendar. We really should start our year in September and let us run, because if we look culturally, yes, you have the planning and the finances, which gets you into the realities of life, but we are carried along by such joy, because we will start with Parang, we will go into Christmas, and Christmas does not stand alone, because that also lovely, gorgeous thing called Carnival keeps coming in. So we have Parang, then we have Soca Parang, Christmas Parang, Soca going into Kaiso, preparing us for Carnival and all the hum and buzz. So even as we begin, you start off ushering the everyone into their new phases, and you're looking and saying, boy, I have to get to the end of the year, and I might have some financial goals, I might have some projects. You have this backdrop of music and goodwill and excitement and sharing and activities to go do things that I think sort of smooths out the sharp edge of being accountable for the year gone by and for what has happened. And I think that helps to make not only this 6 month period, but the not only this 3 month period, but the whole 7 months to April, and it ends in glorious Easter. you know, it it really helps to carry you through. And I think that is, and for us at the 5.8G cohort, I think we get to appreciate the transition of these seasons a bit more, because we're not in the hustle of the workplace fighting up with the end of the year. And all those things, you know. So it seems though it has some drudgery and seriousness to it, it still carries that special, and for me it's the music that is the background to this period of time that just lifts my spirits all the time.
I look at it too, Terry-Ann, as a period of hope that gives us hope.
Mm.
You know, we look at there is time. So even if for the past 7 months we're saying, okay, we complain about certain things and it we didn't, you know, not everything worked out the way we wanted it to work out. But we look and say, you know what? We have time. There's still hope. You know, we say there's still hope because we can turn it around.
Mm.
It is, and it gives us the atmosphere, the whole atmosphere is one of I'm going to say hope again. It's really one of joy that you can actually have that vision of it happening. You know, um, as I said before, you start afresh. You could start afresh and say yes. Okay, all the things in the past, but you see now, you see this quarter coming up, you see these last few months. Hey, I'm a different person. I'm going to approach things differently.
Mm.
And I'm sure with that new approach, yeah, things will work out.
Yeah.
You know, so you can start in your head seeing all the things that you have. Your vision is different. You can see, start writing, start making, I believe in vision board. Start putting it, and you said at our age, we have the time. When I say our age, our stage. I shouldn't say age, our stage, in that we are more flexible. Let me say that because some of us, of course, still working, but we more flexible, and we have the experience. You know, we have the experience to make things work for us, to start saying, well, okay, we have done it this way. This worked for us before, it could work again. This didn't work, so you know what? We're going to try something different. So I really see it as a period of hope,
Mm.
you know?
Nice.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we could do something because this September, because we've just come from vacation and everything is active and busy and people have new starts and so on. But the last quarter is there when we have to buckle down. September really is a nice place where we can we've talked, if we pause a bit to talk about the journey we've taken you on, and we've probably taken people far and deep. And we've probably in the last couple of weeks had people really reflecting and wondering, all right, who am I? Where am I? What's happening? You know,
Some very serious soul searching.
it's serious and it's soul searching, but I would want to think that it was very uplifting and allowed some possi allowed possibilities to arise. And I think this is a nice transition period where we can do as we said, you know, take stock in appreciation of where we are and create that platform from which to say, okay, which gear are we going into next? You know, so you don't wait for the start of the year, December 31st, January 1st to begin thinking, oh gosh, and then distract your Christmas celebrations in December with thinking about, all right, where are going. We could use September to begin to, gather and recognize how far we've come and what is there. And even if the how far we've come had some troubling times, the fact that we are here means that there has been success and there has been overcoming, and you're in a place where you could move forward. And I like to use September in that way. You know, that part where I stop and I say, okay, let's just see where we are. Make up the bed so that I can lie down and start dreaming about what I want to do and where I want to go. And I think that is a lot of fun. And I think that is something that we can encourage all of our listeners to do. What do you think, Jen?
What I like to add here, as you were speaking, I recalled where we did an exercise a couple of years ago with the vision board. And that creates, again, it's nice this time in September. I would really like our tribe to consider a vision board or journaling where we expression on paper instead of just in our head, we transfer that on paper. And when I say on paper, it could be a vision board where you just put your photos or you start journaling or you create you know something that would motivate you, you know, that you can refer to.
Yeah.
You can refer to. So I'm saying that it's a great idea. It's a great exercise that as connections here now, we can have, we are planning our events, by the way. We still have 2 events coming up for the end of the year. And as we speak, Terry, and I think would be very good for us to look at that sort of activity, a similar type of activity where we can really journal or vision board, something where we put, hey, this is what we want between September and the end of the year. This is what's going to happen. This is what we would like to see happen and to achieve. And it's light, like as you said today, our show today is a very light one. So if we take that into the next few months where we do things like that, and just to keep us motivated, keep us on a high, keep us excited, because this is an exciting time of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You know,
I agree that we should do something.
yeah. The thing is, the vision boards can also be digital because I remember in that we had that
Oh
forum
yes, that's
and
true.
we did our vision boards and most of the vision boards were digital. And I think I still have my vision board. And we
Yeah.
dig up and see and show those vision boards because at the end of the day, I think it is really, really important for us to get that spirit because that vision board is also an aspect of dreaming and it can be
Yeah.
as it could reflect something concrete that you want to get to. Sometimes people put pictures of piles of money or cars or gardens or whatever it is, or they can be pictures that reflect the mood and the state of being and the state of mind that you want to be in, the kind of environment that you want to be in. So, you know, we can really start thinking, having gone through this year, we probably at the crest of the mountain. So you're going onto a ridge or you're going down the other side of the mountain. So I think we can really begin to look out at images that speak to us, that appeal to us, and gives us a sense of, okay, where do we want to end up? Because remember,
Yeah.
one of the things about recognizing where you are and dreaming is that they don't necessarily have to be one next to the other to give you a chance to really stretch and you could say, this is where I am, all right, where do I want to end up in the next? And give yourself that latitude to float and dream of the best that you could want for yourself. And all right, when you see that, we'll see where we reach, but at least we aspire into something that is significant. And I think that's the fun of September.
Yeah. So we do it to the end of see where we want to reach by the end of the year?
Yeah. Or where we want to reach. You see, Jennifer is the goal lady. I'm not the goal lady.
No, but then, I'm not going to say it because we are looking at this the last quarter and using September as the point for where we're going to really be doing this we're refreshing ourselves. And so September is where we're setting it up because we want to ensure by the end of the year that we realize our goals, you know?
So you see,
So
that's how goal-oriented
like that.
people do it.
I wasn't taking it into 2025 as yet.
You see, she's measuring so that in
Free, obviously, to do that. As you said, Terry-Ann, I tend to think my
and that's fine.
my thing takes me like that.
And
But we will limit. That doesn't mean we will limit anybody else who want to focus beyond.
no, but the thing about it is that, and I think this is where when we read and look at different videos and so on, people may get anxious and thinking, okay, if I set a goal and December is when I'm supposed to achieve my goal, if I'm not making progress, I could become, but if you are goal oriented, that could motivate you. On the other side of it, you could, as I tend to do, set up my dream and that's fixed. And every month I see where I am with regard to the dream. I may reach it in November. In December, I just see where I am and then we continue going. There's room for, in this process, there's room for whatever is comfortable for you to do to aspire. It's whatever makes you comfortable.
So as we said, we started and we will share in terms of the vision board, but there is some, when we spoke to Dr. Lynette Tyson on the two shows ago, and she suggested about us doing more. She didn't use the word journaling, but it's really for us to look at, for those who are interested in starting to write your stories. Remember, we spoke about telling stories, sharing stories, the exercise of starting to journal, starting to write your stories is really good to take you beyond. So where we spoke about the vision board, which is one thing, doing it digital, there's also that aspect of telling your stories, actually creating a legacy with your stories. So those two exercises or those two activities will go very well at this time of the year. It's September, to begin either one in September.
Yeah.
Which will take us some beyond. So this is not just about to the end of the year, but this is your life story that you start to, build that legacy.
Yeah. And it also is a nice way to bring people who are close to you in. And it starts in a good reflective way. You gather memories and you gather thoughts. You could gather memories by looking at old photos. Sometimes I don't know how disciplined everyone is with clearing their email accounts and so on. But every now and again, I go back to my oldest emails. And this, in some instances, is bad, but it's good for me. But I have emails back to 2005. It's good to go looking for your memories. And as I was saying, I look at my oldest emails from 2005 when I was still in the world of work. And it is so interesting to see. Sometimes I just go through in different eras and see what I've been doing, what I've done. And it's not so much to see what I actually did, but how I've progressed or regressed And then looking at my photo history on my phone also gives a sense of, wow, you did this, you did that, you look like this, you look like that, and you were with this person or that person, or you celebrated this or you celebrated that. And I think doing those kinds of reflections helps you to get a sense of how you've reached to where you are. And I think 9 times out of 10, they give you a smile. Even if in that process you experience loss or sadness or disappointments. But the thing is, you overcome and you feel yourself in a good place. So, all right, let's go again. What do you think?
Yeah, no, as you speak in the Terran, I am thinking that I can start. I love family history. I really like to keep some memories of all that, the happy times, the good times, achievements, etc. So I have a lot of albums. But now as you talking about that, I don't know about, definitely would not be emails or anything like that.
Oh, you
But
choose how you keep records.
photos, within the photos that, you create a story around them. Because when my dad, this is some years ago, for my dad's 90th birthday, our family, we have a lot of creatives within the family. And the grandchildren got together and created a book with all his stories on him from beginning, his early years. And they got photos and they, spoke to him and created beautiful. And we still have it with all the photos and things. It's really, really nice. It's like the album, looking at the album, going back. So that was creating a great legacy. And then for my mom, what we did too for her 90th is that, because now we did a video with her speaking about her, her giving her story, but in video, in that digital format. I forgot all about that disaster. You're
No,
talking. There's so many ways. Yes, there's so many ways that we can document and create our stories.
but more than documenting and creating, Jennifer, if we don't allow ourselves to look back at what has, we forget how much has gone on and what brought us here, because we will only remember the recent past or the recent urgent past or the last emergency, but we will not remember the journey and the trip. And I think it's however we store our archives. And remember, this is our story. And because most of us probably since about 1995 have been holding on to phones and stuff, you may find photos, you may find cards, postcards, you may find emails. If you buy books or magazines, there are so many. Sometimes even Jennifer, journey into your wardrobe to look at all the old clothes you have there that you don't use anymore.
Terry, and it's really a way of celebrating life, and celebrating ourselves. We said before, I think it last week when we were for our independence show, that we don't celebrate enough. We don't celebrate ourselves. We don't, look and say, well, yes, we have achieved. We tend to dismiss all that we have achieved in terms of just taking it for granted. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And this is a way for us to celebrate who we are and what we have achieved. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always important to go and look back. And I think when you do that, when you every now and again, and even just that journey through your wardrobe, or you go, depending on which part of your house you like the most, you go into the porch, you're going to the garden, you're going to the kitchen, you would be amazed how much of your, how many, as I said, the breadcrumbs of your life history are scattered there for you to see and to remind you. And I think that is what September is. I mean, if you talk about weather, September is the month that takes you into fall. The trees shed their old leaves and they start changing color and they start going anew to come out with something different or shiny and brighter. But I think reflection is so important, however you choose to do it, whether you, as Jennifer said, you journal, you write, you go looking at your browsing history, you look at your pictures. But I think it's important for us to prepare to move forward, to recall where we've been and how we've come to where we are. And that's not a 4-month recall or a 1-year recall. It's choose a decade, choose 15 years, choose whatever significant period, as I think that will put you in a really, really good space for whether we go writing our history, writing our story, or because writing your history and writing your story is looking back. Or you could say, this is where I've been, this is where I am, this is where I'm going. So it's really, I think, an exciting time.
And saying September to remember.
September to remember or September to to look forward.
No, we had it growing up. I think to learn the months of the year, somewhere along the line, we said September to remember.
That's the hurricane season. September, remember, October all over. June too
Yeah.
soon, July stand by, August come they must. September, remember, October all over.
Linked somehow, September was linked to remember. So I'm just using it in terms of, as we chat here, that yeah.
Yes, yes. So, okay.
To go back, you know?
So we're remembering in September so that in October we could start getting ready to move forward. And it's very important that you really do that, because we are going to be having a special program with Dr. Tyson Noel, where I'll give you a little hint here. We're going to be able to write our family stories. And, I am hopeful that this is a process that may not be just historical, but historical with a view to going forward. And I think that is the thing that will encourage our young ones to get involved and be a part of it. Because sometimes we look forward and we look back and we keep looking back, making comparisons to what's better. And it becomes a downer on now. And if in our reflections, we look back with too much nostalgia, it's hard to look forward because we think that, oh gosh, nothing could be as good as then. But we really want it to be something that allows us to look back, get energy, and go forward and bring everyone along with us. Yeah, Jen?
Yeah. Sounds good. So that's our next event. That could be our next activity for our 5.8 tribe.
So everyone, start finding your memories. Wherever you hid the memories. And as I say, then every part of your house, then if you have a library of books or a bookshelf with a lot of old books and notepads and notebooks and all those things, open them. You'll be shocked at what you see because it's all part of your story. Definitely.
So we created in September.
Definitely. And the next thing that we are going to be planning and dreaming about, and I am just dropping a pebble here, is that Christmas is going to be very different. We're going on an excursion, not a road trip kind of excursion, but we're going to be immersed into a very, very unique experience. It's going to be a really special thing. You're going to love it. And it will involve all of our senses: smell, taste, touch, action, hearing. I'm excited about that. So,
Different, something different and exciting.
definitely. But Jennifer, as we prepare, I think we can say that we've done a pretty good job of taking the 5.8G cohort on a pretty interesting journey through this year. Now, it's not the end of the year, and this is not the full review, but just as we will individually and as families prepare for our stories, it's nice at all these turning points for us to see how far we've come, what we've done, how diverse and interesting we've been. And I want to say that till this point, we've had some pretty, I won't say we've had some pretty interesting shows. I'll say this, and I hope it doesn't sound like false pride, as they say, but I am really, really proud of how we develop concepts, bring new people, new topics, new energy to keep our cohort engaged, entertained, and I just am very, very thrilled with that. What do you think as we think back on what we've been doing?
Well, we spoke on the growth. We have definitely seen the growth. The growth in terms of we try, and we have, I would say, have succeeded with the different events. So, on the every quarter, we look at doing something different where we get the tribe together. So there are those who prefer the road trips, those who like the events, those who like all, you know. But basically, being able to bring group together without, we don't know each other. So each event you have a different mix. Some you have a core group, but you always have others coming along, and at each event, you really get some definite positive feedback and everybody happy. I really as I say, blow a trumpet, but we have been able to achieve that, getting our together and having people really relax and feel free and chat and make new friends. That has been a great achievement. And with this program, again, it's like an outreach, We are really fortunate to have the guests that come to us. They're all, each one of them highly qualified in their field and knowledgeable experience and relatable. So they all in each program. And again, what is good that with the topics, our topics, that we reach a very, very group of people. So you have people who may be interested in health. You have people who may be interested in the financial, aspect. But each of our guests able to share and really leave our audience with some real nuggets that could improve their lives. So yes, I would say we're on a great path. We're on a great journey. We continue and say this is not a recap of the year, but because we stop here in September and we say, you know what, let's just chat with you all. Let's just have a nice, how they say, light-hearted chat about this month of September, where we feel that, oh yes, we time to just relax and say, let's move on from here. What do we really want now as we go along? What do we want to do? And as we chat here with you, we say, you know what? Let's do some sort of vision board, some kind of
Well, I could say
legacy.
two things stand out to me. Two things stand out to me that really support my continuing journey and have caused a big jump. And it's really our gardening series, Jennifer. I've always loved my vegetable gardening and stuff like that. And I really, actually, I signed up for some Ministry of Extension training courses and went and put on my boots and getting the planting and stuff like that. And this morning I'm just walking around my garden and I was really, really impressed. You're in it every day, but you don't sit back and look at it, which is the point that we make it. And I'm really impressed at the range of things that I have coming up. I looked at now what kind of harvest I got, we will see. But in the meantime, I really am impressed by how talking to our guests, the three guests that we had, the Ladies from the Horticultural Society and Carl Burgess, really inspired me. But while we were doing it, I was not really thinking about it. But, walking around now, I'm saying, but what is this? This is a very impressive yard. I have all my food groups growing.
It really was a powerful series.
Yes, and I also think the start of the series on meeting the tribe, and I'm recounting this cause I'm hoping that I can jolt our viewers' memory a bit, because these are the series that we got so much feedback from, that people said they were personally impacted by and motivated to do something. And our Meet the Tribe series, where we interviewed so many of our followers, and we realized that while some were high achievers, some were everyday persons, some lived internationally, some lived here, every single one of them we found we can relate to, and they were just like us in so many ways, which I think is a great thing.
What is positive for our audience is that we have the YouTube links, and you can always go back to these links at any time, and review the shows that you think that you really was interested in and learn from it. So we have that, and that's good.
As you think so, we have been doing this show for 5 years, and many of you all have been following us for those 5 years. Probably a review of those YouTube videos might also jog memories about what stage of life you were at that time, just like a photo album might, or a review of emails like. So go onto our Facebook page, go onto YouTube, and take the connections journey and see if you can remember how different shows impacted you and how you reacted to different guests, or even how you may have reacted to me saying something outlandish, or a piece of advice Jennifer may have given, or something like that. That may be another way to go walking through your memory to prepare yourself for moving forward. I think so. Who knows? One of the shows may have covered a topic that may ignite a dream, ignite something that you want to achieve to be that may not be possible now, but you could envision it, you could go get it.
So we will just the link for you all, so you could just click and review shoes. Look and see which ones that you're really going to be interested in again.
And I have a dream that is attached to that exercise, and that's the reason that I brought it up. When you're going and reviewing, just click the subscribe button. There's no cost, there's no commitment. All that will happen is you'll get a reminder when we launch a show, because so many people give us feedback, but they're not subscribing. And that's one way you can support us, because then algorithm will be adjusted and our show will reach more and more people. So you can do us that favor as you click to go down memory lane with us. Subscribe. And I think that will be a lot of fun.
So great. So for the month of September, we creating a legacy through your
September,
story.
remember.
So we will have Dr. Thais Noel, help us tell our stories and create that legacy, that family legacy.
Exactly, exactly. You know, another thing we could do, Jennifer, as I think about it now, where you have no photos, you have no emails, you have no breadcrumbs to follow. It's a great way to connect with family members and old friends, and just ask, what are some of your best memories? What are some of the things you remember about this person or that person about yourself? Sometimes those conversations could end up going on for hours, and it can really help jog memories. And I think that's also a great way to prepare for Christmas, getting everybody back together. And you could see this kind of thing excites me, yeah? Because you're preparing for Christmas and music playing and food cooking. We're not even going to the food part of it, all right? I will behave.
So yes, so it's a lot that can be done or will be done this month.
Definitely, definitely. So, what else can we look forward to as we transition from September or into September? We are transitioning from our July, August holiday period, independence, emancipation, independence, permission, and we've met our tribe. Now we're going forward to the future to begin dreaming and planning for where we want to be. Good.
Reach out to each other. We could reach out again. We recommend this a lot, that we have sometimes we out of touch. We out of touch of our friends, persons we haven't seen for a long while, family members, and it's nothing reaching out and just say something nice. Hi, how are you going? This week I made an effort. 3 friends that I haven't touched base with for a long while. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna make an effort to call. Just call and just chat it, not long, but just say hi, how are you doing? I was thinking of you, and I just think, let me call. And the response was really, really good. So happy to hear you. Of course, they too went to call and just don't get around. So make that, just put it down, actually say, yes, I'm going to do this week. I will call 2 friends just to say hi. So I would, recommend touching base. Remember your loved ones, give them a call, see how they're doing. It makes you
Anyone
feel
here
good.
love too much? Of course, some you don't love too much.
Man. You know what? Be long ago, you could have dropped in by someone unannounced. We can't do that again, You
Why?
can't just say.
Why you can't do that again?
I think it's I don't know. That has I don't think it's done again. Actually, I don't do it. I always will call. If I have to visit someone, I will call to see if it's convenient. In the area, just pass and just say hi.
Well, if you're in the area, you could call them when you're 10 minutes away. We don't do it. And I ask the question, why?
I really don't know why.
And it's because we've become such close to people. We build fences around ourselves and we build barriers. And when you think about it, really, why? Because You mightn't be your best face not forward, or why? Why?
That's interesting.
Yeah. You know, when we really think about it, but we will go and we will find memories, and we will prepare to write our stories and give a good account for develop beautiful dreams for 2025 and beyond. I am planning a dream for Easter, and we'll take it all the way. I'm just ignoring the end of the year. Oh, gosh. End of year is traumatic.
I think, yeah.
So it will just be a good little old year's nightline, but life will continue from parang to parang soca to soca, parang to Christmas music, to soca to kaiso to pan to Easter. And we will have a grand time. Anyway, Jennifer, I think I am excited about going forward. I really am. I really, really am. There's enough going on in our environments to keep us talking about what is not perfect and what should be better and who is good and who is bad. And one of the things that I am not allowing myself to get into at this end of the year is those kinds of discussions that really don't do anything to help an individual, you know. And I'm talking about the fact that we're all going into the political season internationally in the Western Hemisphere. So we need to try and avoid that.
We are in charge of our future, and we really have to make ourselves happy. We can't depend on others to do that for us, you know?
No, no, absolutely not. So this has been a fun little evening. Yes, so you can enjoy this whole process of looking back and reflecting is something that we had done before, and we can now do our first walk back and go back to 2022. So enjoy these few extracts of what that whole vision and experience was like, and let's look forward to doing it once more as we dream. We don't prepare for something, we dream. We dream of the next phase, the next level, the next step. I'm excited, Jennifer. I hope you are.
Definitely, definitely. It's really time that we look. I'm glad we can, show that vision board. Those when we did that exercise, how exciting it was for everybody, and it's something to look forward to.
Definitely. So until next week, when we will be bringing you another phase of this wonderful journey to the next 6 months. I'm denying the end of the year. You enjoy these clips and have a wonderful, wonderful evening again. See you next week. Bye. So I know that the vision board, the concept of vision board resonates with you. So what did you think of our session on using vision boards to help our audiences plan and direct their lives?
First of all, for me personally, it was well timed because I was thinking, my God, it's about 3 years since last I did a vision board. My last vision board was spent, I reflected on it and everything on it was accomplished. And because vision boards are the life that you have projected for yourself, I help people create their futures.
Yes.
And I think that's the perfect thing, because you have to go through images, whether it's in a magazine or online. You have to go through and assess. Yes, no, accept, reject. And this is your future you are planning and diving into. It's really, really the perfect thing. So it came at the right time for me, reminding me to do a vision board. And I celebrate vision boards because the last one I did, even in terms of the place that I went to work, it wasn't the exact place, it was the place next door. I identified the place next door, you know, and every time I drive by, because it was frequently, it's where I worked, every time I drove by there, I wonder, should I go into these people and have a chat with them? But it makes the future become the present. It brings that closer, and you guys did it so well. Jennifer, you spent time with the finances. It's such a distant thing for people, especially from our culture. It's not something that we speak about sufficiently. I help people create their financial future as well. Actually, the practical piece, you know, and what you were doing was the necessary piece. It was real. So I appreciated it. And then Tarian, you really identify the importance of peeling everybody away and focusing on yourself. And it's then you can do everything for everybody. So I loved it on so many counts, personally, professionally, practically, the way you did it. It was from heaven for me, as far as I'm concerned. It was,
And it's one of the things that when we did the vision board exercises, we said, you know, you really look into your future and you think about what kind of life you want to have, how you, and while we may not be able to identify the specific things, we usually can identify how we want to feel as we go forward. What is that dominant emotion? So when you join on 5.8G Alive and so on, how do we make you feel when you finish that, looking at that show and you sign up? What's that thing that you feel?
Comfortable, happy, relaxed, looking forward to 65 to travel. That kind of
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that is the nature of our tribe.
50 Plus Tribe, and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.